Shared value banking is a phrase that you're going to hear a lot more of in the weeks and months ahead as Barry Hore, the technologist who has led Discovery Bank since inception and build out, was replaced by longtime Discovery insider Hylton Kallner on the 1st of January. Hylton, welcome to the show. And I think having you take over as someone who has over 25 years experience inside of Discovery is great for the business. You're someone who understands the shared value model that Discovery has pioneered. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what you've been busy with this first month with your feet under the desk?
Well, hi, Michael. Thanks for having me. I think the strategy has really been quite well defined in terms of the sort of the formation of the bank over the first 5 years, the build, then the launch, and now we sort of firmly focused on a growth phase as we sort of take the message out into the market around shared value banking, the benefits that we can offer to our customers. We completed the migration of our Discovery Card JV book from the first Rand banking license onto the Discovery Bank last year, and now we really are already rolling out the technology to this place. And I think the digital technology that we have allows us to scale. And it's quite relevant in the current environment. So that's really where we are focused. And my first month has really been around the sort of the rollout, new marketing campaign that you might have seen coming to the market, and really I think connecting with staff and clients.
Looking at the numbers, I mean, you started off with around, I think, just over 530,000 accounts. 5 billion Rand in retail deposits, which you've gathered in next to no time, so no mean feat that. Can you just tell us what the plan is for the next phase of growth for Discovery over the year ahead, and what sort of targets you are setting yourself and the team?
So I don't think we've set sort of explicit targets, in a sense, at least externally from a public perspective. But what we really want to achieve is sort of a disruptive force in the market. The sort of the sense that the shared value model has real application in banking. And I think the sort of the approach that we're taking from a client growth numbers perspective is fairly conservative in the current environment. I think lending and credit in the current economic environment is obviously much more complex, and we have to be prudent in terms of the risk that we expose the business to. So the growth numbers themselves, we'll monitor and we'll manage according to how the environment plays out. But from a sort of a messaging perspective and in terms of the model, I think there it's very, very important for us to firmly establish shared value banking as the sort of the de facto model that can give clients much better banking technology and better value than what they're used to experiencing in South Africa.
And I think we all understand the shared value model when it comes to health and nudging people in the right direction to make better choices, which impacts their health bottom line, and so in turn ensures that you're more profitable as well. It's a shared value model that has seen you grow all over the world, and we'll come to how shared value actually plays out in terms of financial wellness. I just want to stay on the digital side a little bit longer, because you've launched new features on your app towards the back end of last year. In fact, you had virtual card, Discovery Pay support. How have those features been received so far?
Very, very well. We've had thousands and thousands of clients that have used both of them. Virtual cards are quite unique in the South African market. We were the first to launch a fully virtual card into the market. It allows our clients effectively to add more and more cards at no cost to their sort of application, and to use that then when they're shopping online in particular, or to really manage their finances by allocating costs and transactions to a specific card or pocket. It never expires, so you can lodge it for debit orders, and it just updates the debit order automatically. So really sort of user friendly and much more secure, because you're never handing it over to a third party. So it can't be skimmed. So the technology's worked well. Discovery Pay for us is really sort of just a great use of our community and the broader Discovery community. You can pay anybody within the Discovery Vitality community, whether they've got a Discovery bank account or not, just by sort of accessing them on your contacts on your cell phone. So very user-friendly, very simple. We've had tens of thousands of clients that have used it, and most of them are using it for real-time payments. So, one of the benefits of digital technology is we sort of started with a blank sheet of paper, and historically, real-time payments have been quite expensive. We've brought the cost right down, and our clients use it extensively. So you don't have to know the bank account that you're sending most money to. Just pick the contact from your contact list and pay them instantaneously, and the money appears literally in a millisecond in their account. So it really sort of is the sort of, we think, the age of digital banking, and we're able to really translate that into a lot of use cases that just sort of pop up in the app, and our clients get to use them.
And the beauty of building out the Discovery Bank on those sort of first principle rails is that you can develop these solutions and introduce them very quickly to market. And with the scale and breadth that you have, start to see that momentum snowball over time. And on that point, with Discovery Medical Aid serving perhaps the largest customer base in the country, are there plans which will be put in place this year to help convert more medical aid clients to Discovery Bank users?
Absolutely. I think the sort of the starting point for that was a very simple application whereby if you are a Discovery Health member and you go to a pharmacy, for example, immediately, and if you've got a Discovery Bank account, you can set up your bank account that will bill you automatically for any co-payments. So you don't have to have that experience of your medication being put into that little cage that's then tied up, and then you have to go to the front of the store and pay any co-payments. We've got the ability to fully integrate and settle any co-payments at the pharmacy, at the back of the store, and you just simply walk out if you've got a Discovery Bank account. So it's sort of fully integrated, very simple, very seamless, and elegant for the client. That's the sort of the first application. There'll be a lot more in terms of how we can integrate the healthcare system with prepaid healthcare and a number of other innovations that we bring into that client base.
And I'm sure as people become more familiar with the model, they really, as medical aid users who might not be with Discovery Bank at the moment, really start interrogating why they're not. When you start to see all the advantages of this, I'm certainly mulling it over as we talk. Now, we talk about COVID-19 and the impact that it's had on business. I mean, launching a bank at any time in this competitive market isn't easy, but you've really launched and looked to scale through a pandemic. How has that impacted your operations, both just in terms of gaining market share and operationally at work? How are staff working? How are they collaborating? Just share some more insights into the challenges that COVID-19 has introduced.
So I think at the start of the pandemic, at the start of the lockdown, from a Discovery perspective, we were exposed to sort of the complexities, the challenges at a very stage that we were likely to encounter. So we started to really plan ahead for that at the beginning of last year. At the time of the lockdown, we obviously moved most of our staff to a work from home environment. Banking staff are considered essential services in order to keep the banking systems operating, and that's obviously critical for the whole country. Having said that, in order to ensure the safety of our staff, we've moved virtually all of them to a work from home. So we've got about 90% of our banking staff working from home at any point in time. That keeps them secure and safe, and obviously the staff who are in our offices themselves are much safer as a result of that. But from a communication and staff engagement perspective and culturally, it obviously presents a number of challenges and opportunities. I think for us to call an all-staff meeting historically meant aligning hundreds and thousands of people's diaries, arranging a venue, bringing everyone together. Today through Zoom and Teams, we do it at the sort of the drop of a hat, and everybody's connected in that sense. So sort of the organization, while we completely dispersed, I don't think we actually felt closer in a sense. We see our entire team virtually every single day on digital platforms. We're able to connect through these and really work together and use technology to collaborate. But as you say, from a financial perspective and economically, building a bank in a pandemic is complex. So we've been able to run effectively and manage the business, but actually building a bank through things like advancing credit is obviously much more complex. At the same time, clients are embracing digital channels far more. So if you think about it, sort of the ability to have a branchless environment actually presents a number of opportunities.
Yeah.
So for any clients out there who are looking to do everything digitally, keep themselves safe, not have to go into a branch to do anything, our bank is the perfect solution for that. We've also got a 24/7, 365 call center. So it's not like the mobile is the only technology that they can access. We've got a full service call center that you can call any time of the day or night and access a sort of a human being to assist you.
And obviously recognizing that opportunity of digital being de-risked in a sense. I was chatting to Kurt van Zyl, who operates in the VC space, and he said for VCs, it was often difficult to go and sell digital. It was seen as risky, and what COVID did was almost de-risk that. And I think in the consumer's eyes as well, for those consumers who didn't really do any shopping online, they're now doing it with ShopRite or Woolies, whoever. And so it's de-risked all of these things. And with that, there's opportunity. And you're coming to market with a new marketing campaign. Just tell us a little bit more about what's driving this new marketing campaign, what your thinking is behind it.
So I think the concept of shared value banking and the difference that the model represents, for us is absolutely crucial. It talks to what we're trying to achieve and the purpose of the bank, which is really around improving the financial health of our clients and really sort of driving the right behaviors with our clients that ultimately creates value in the bank and being completely aligned with our clients. And if we can achieve that, we know that we can have a profound impact on their lives and we can have a more sustainable, better bank in the long term. So for us, it's not just about the interest rate, for example, which we know we can offer the best interest rates in the market, but that's sort of just a number at a point in time. What we really want to communicate to our clients and to broader society in South Africa is that there's a better way to bank, a more sustainable way that actually rewards you for doing well. Historically, the best risks in a bank, if you really managed your money well, what ended up happening was you subsidized those who didn't. And it's inherently unfair if you think about it. And managing money well is not just about having a lot of money or earning a high salary. It's about sort of managing within your context. And so, historically, banks have categorized people just purely based on their income. But you can have a high income person who's heavily in debt. At the same time, you can have a lower income person who's really sort of prudent in the way that they manage their finances. Our model sort of cuts through that and rates each person as an individual. And we've created the Vitality Money program to do exactly that, to explain the behaviors simply that result in better financial outcomes for the individual and for us as a bank. We're completely aligned. We can measure that at an individual level for each one of our clients, and in so doing, create a personal sort of stack of rewards for them that incentivizes them and gives them an immediate return of value for how they manage their health. So that's really what we wanted to communicate through this campaign, and hopefully do it in a fun way, a way that sort of appeals to all South Africans.
Yeah, and as we know, appealing to all South Africans is appealing to a nation of inherently dis-savers. So we need to change that very poor financial behavior and nudge it into the better financial behaviors that you've alluded to. And by doing so, using the shared value model of rewards and the vitality stack, what are some of the outcomes that you've seen so far as a shared value bank in terms of using this model? Because I'm sure there are some people out there who might say, oh, I like living in debt. I want to keep up with the Joneses. I don't want to be nudged in the right direction and feel that it perhaps encroaches a bit on them. What are some of the benefits and the outcomes that you've seen?
So I think the first thing to say is that the behaviors that we're encouraging are behaviors that are healthy in the long term. I think we saw this on the health side as well. It's obviously much better to sort of sleep in the morning than go out for a run. But with the right incentives, we can encourage people to do exactly that, because in the long term, it's good for them. But there are very few people who say that they regret it. Nobody actually says, I regretted going for the run. In fact, it's the opposite. Quite quickly you begin to understand it's good for you, and it's good for us as a health insurer. Finances are exactly the same. We find that people get energized by the fact that they see their savings grow. They see themselves having less debt, and we're able to do it. We're able to do it by really sort of just incentivizing the right behavior at the right time with the right nudges. So one thing, for example, is we pay interest on what was traditionally termed lazy balances. So money that's left in your transaction account overnight has historically had no interest paid on it by conventional banks. Our approach is one which says, actually, you can leave the money in any account and earn great interest rates. If you're managing your money well, we know that it's going to stay there for a long period of time. You don't have to move it into demand savings and longer dated fixed deposits to earn higher rates of interest. So with the right kind of behavioral nudges, we can learn a lot about clients and do the right thing for them. And the results have been fantastic. Our Diamond Vitality Money status clients are pretty much sort of like AAA rated kind of credit paper. They're stronger than the strongest corporates in a sense. They just don't default, and that's exactly right. They should be incentivized and receive the value that's being created as a result of their good behavior. So it becomes a virtuous cycle when we get it right, and what we're seeing is exactly that play out.
I can imagine, because you then attract those AAA rated consumers because they're getting rewarded for that good financial behavior, where perhaps they're not getting rewarded elsewhere with other financial services providers. Is income level, though, not a major factor here, being able to effectively use your Vitality Money tool and benefit from the Discovery Bank offering?
So I think income obviously is correlated to financial outcomes, but it's not the only factor. I think what we've done is construct a suite of products that are really sort of aligned to individuals at any point in their sort of financial life cycle. And if you're looking for a very low cost, pay as you transact basic gold card account, all the way through to our Purple Wealth Suite, we have got products that are sort of customized and tailored to the sort of the income level of the individual. Importantly, though, we don't see income as the sort of the deciding factor. We see the sort of the way that you manage your money given that income as being the most important factor in terms of the value that you can derive as a client.
That's certainly what I see. Some of my wealthiest friends in terms of monthly income are also the most indebted. So not necessarily the ones who manage their money the best. So it's really a logical and refreshing approach to the way banks should be analyzing and assessing consumer creditworthiness and all the rest of those things that go along with it. Hylton, a great pleasure chatting to you. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, and I wish you good luck as you continue to grow out this new digital bank in the middle of a pandemic, as you say, with its challenges, but no doubt with significant opportunities as well. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you.